The cold air bit at the skin, and every breath seemed to turn into smoke. But for Jason Carter, this chilly December morning was not like any other. It was the day of his life's most important interview. After weeks of preparation, long nights of rehearsing answers in front of the mirror, editing and re-editing his resume, and dreaming of a better future, he was finally heading to West Tech, the global tech giant that everyone dreamed of working for. Wearing his crispest shirt, a modest tie, and freshly polished shoes, Jason stepped out of his modest apartment with nervous energy and hope in his heart. His resume folder clutched tightly in his gloved hand, he walked toward the bus stop. But as fate would have it, traffic had built up unexpectedly due to an accident on the main road. Jason checked the time, he had only 40 minutes left. Thinking fast, he took a quieter shortcut, a less traveled road that cut across a few old neighborhoods. The road was empty and covered in a light layer of frost. Just as he turned a bend, he spotted an old car parked on the side. A woman, elderly, wrapped in a thick but worn coat, was standing beside it, visibly distressed. One of the tires was flat. She was waving faintly at any passerby, her gloved hands shaking in the cold. Jason slowed down. His first instinct said, "You'll be late. This interview is your shot. Just keep walking." But something stronger, his conscience, pulled him back. He approached her. "Ma'am, are you all right?" The woman gave a tired but hopeful smile. "My tire's flat, and I don't have the strength to change it myself. Could you possibly help?" Jason glanced at his watch. 20 minutes left. If he helped, he would miss the interview for sure. But looking into her eyes, filled with helplessness, he couldn't walk away. Without saying another word, he rolled up his sleeves and got to work. The ground was hard and icy. The tools were cold and stiff in his hands, but Jason didn't stop. He crouched, unscrewed the bolts, jacked the car up, removed the flat tire, and replaced it with the spare. His fingers had gone numb by the time he tightened the last bolt. As he stood up, wiping his hands on his pants, he noticed the woman was still shivering. Without hesitation, he took off the wool scarf around his neck and gently draped it around her shoulders. "This might help," he said with a kind smile. Tears welled up in the woman's eyes. "You're a good soul, son. What's your name?" "Jason," he replied. "Jason Carter." She nodded, memorizing it. "Thank you, Jason. You're a rare one." He gave a small nod and sprinted off toward the company building. By the time Jason reached West Tech headquarters, he was out of breath, cheeks flushed from the cold and exertion. He burst through the doors and approached the front desk. "Jason Carter," he said between breaths. "I'm here for the 9 a.m. interview." The receptionist looked at him with gentle regret. "I'm so sorry, the interview's concluded 15 minutes ago." Jason stood there silently. The weight of disappointment settled in his chest. He nodded politely and walked out of the building, each step heavier than the last. 3 days passed. Jason was back to applying for other jobs, still holding on to the sting of the missed opportunity. Though he didn't regret helping the woman, a part of him mourned what could have been. Then, unexpectedly, his phone rang. A number he didn't recognize. "Hello, is this Jason Carter?" "Yes, speaking." "Who's this?" "This is Eleanor West." Jason nearly dropped his phone. "Eleanor West, as in West Tech?" "Yes," she chuckled. "And I believe we've met. I'm the woman you helped on the roadside." Jason was stunned into silence. "I was in disguise, doing what I often do, traveling incognito to see the world without filters. That day, you gave up a big opportunity for a stranger." That spoke louder than any resume could. "I've reviewed your profile, and I'd like to offer you a position, not just any job, but one that begins with being my executive assistant and grows into leadership training." Jason felt a lump rise in his throat. All he could manage was a soft, "Thank you." "Don't thank me," she said. "Thank your heart." Some interviews happen in offices, with suits and questions. But the most important ones happen in real life, when no one is watching, and the only judge is your conscience. Jason didn't just pass the interview. He passed the test of character, and that made all the difference.